Happy to be here. Happy to be out of the house. I'm a new mom. So yeah, I needed to get the fuck out of there. I love my baby. Is there any other new parents here? Yeah, okay. It's like, I didn't think so. We are in a fucking gutter. It's lovely though. The neon lights really do something. I took some pregnancy photos when I was pregnant. I was like, oh, maybe, thank you. Yeah, I was like, maybe I'm gonna wanna document this giant gut. And so I took some pregnancy photos and I ended up taking them semi-nude. Follow me on Instagram. And you know what's so crazy that I started to think about after I posted these pictures? The response was wild because when women post pictures of themselves in their underwear or naked, people are so quick to call us what? Sluts, thanks, sir. And no, it's actually better. The other night I did this joke and a man yelled, "Fat whores," and I was like, sir, you could have said one or the other. Fat whore. I've been waiting to shout that at a lady without her getting mad. But yeah, they call us sluts, right? But when you post a picture naked and you're pregnant, people are like, you're brave, you're beautiful. And I'm like, why is the other girl a slut? Like, I'm pregnant, I'm clearly the slut. Like it worked. I slutted to completion. I slutted to a family, And I did, I got knocked up by a doctor. Thanks, which my husband hates when I say because he's a writer, but whatever. We used a doctor. We tried to get pregnant for many years, and it didn't work, so we eventually went to a doctor. We did IVF, in vitro fertilization. Thank you. A couple people are aware. Yeah, it's a very easy process where they take a sperm and an egg and they go, oh, science. And all I had to do was just inject myself full of hormones every day and night. And they made me want to laugh, and I wanted to cry, and I was hot, and I was freezing, and I was starving, and I couldn't eat anything, and my skin was itchy, and my hair was falling out, and I wanted to run into traffic and swing from a chandelier, and my husband was like, I come in the cup, and we're like, yeah. Yeah, that's your portion. Ugh. Pretty hard to aim, is it? Pretty hard to aim? So you've been getting it directly in my belly button for a decade, so. No. We did IVF, and it is a wild process. You give a doctor all your money. My daughter cost us $90,000. I can't wait till she wants to go to college. I'm gonna be like, oh no, yeah. You already went. You went a few times, But there's a lot about this process that I didn't know. Like, basically, when you get the sperm successfully impregnates an egg, you get an embryo. And then this embryo goes through basically a CrossFit of testing. And then at the end, they give you a grade, like how good your embryo is. Like you're in school, like AA, AB, BA, BB, CC. And you want the better graded shit. Okay, so here's a little example, because my best friend has 2 babies from IVF, okay? Her first son was her best quality embryo, all right? And this kid at 2 years old was like looking at me in my eyes, full sentences, asking me questions about my life. I was like, why am I weeping? Like, he was in my soul. I was like, you're my best friend, And then her second son was her 5th best embryo. He thinks he's a bird, so she'll call me and she's like, Fletcher's doing 8th grade math. He's 6, and Conrad asked me to sit on him and pretend to hatch him. And I was like, got it. So you want the better graded shit. So it worked for us. And we got a girl. We have a daughter. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, I did 4 egg retrievals to get her. I did 2 different transfers. We did a whole process before this. Again, it was a 5-year process. We did this thing called IUI, where they basically hand the sperm to the egg. They go, Madame, your lunch. They just kind of toss it at it. And we had to do this because my husband's swimmers, they don't swim. They kind of get up there and they're like, should we get a beer? They're like, swim. I'm more of a lazy river guy. Like, they don't want to do it. They don't want to make babies. So we did this first. We did all of that. I did 4 of those, and my daughter came out, and she looks exactly like my fucking husband. I almost didn't love her. I was like, you're making choices, But I love her a lot. Her name is Goldie. I know. Yeah, we wanted to have a career in porn, so thought we'd give her a little leg up before before she spreads them. It's a wild process, and I think I want to. You know, she just turned a year, and it's time to start thinking about whether we're gonna unfreeze her siblings. And she's got 4 siblings in a freezer somewhere in Midtown. I don't know. I'm already a bad mom. But I think I want to, because the world's fucking crazy, right? Like I feel like I'm old, my husband's old, our family's old. Like I don't want her to go through the rest of this life without somebody that had a shared experience, you know? Like I don't want her to be alone at the end of this just with like, oh, I got 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like I want her to have somebody, especially because I know I'm gonna fuck this up, and she needs to be able to talk to somebody about that, you know? Like if you're just a solo kid walking around being like, my mom's nuts, people are gonna be like, well, you're the one talking to yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just, she needs something, because especially it's so scary, social media. You guys know it's terrifying because it's ruining children, but also it pisses me off because I did not know YouTube was gonna be an option for a job. Like I went to school, do you understand? Like, but if somebody was like, just film yourself being an idiot, I promise you I wouldn't be here right now, you know? Like I would be so rich. I was so stupid. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years in my 20s. Do you know what I did there? Just cocaine and swim, that's it. I was just awake and wet for 3 years, just like, I don't know if you've ever snorkeled on cocaine, but you don't need the snorkel. Just grabbing fish out of the air, you know, like my YouTube would have been firing. But honestly, TikTok is terrifying because that's the one. Kids can't communicate with you anymore. They can't pay attention. They can't look at you in the eyes. They're just dancing. It's like, it's fucking insane. And also, I think TikTok is teaching children a level of confidence that they don't deserve to have. Do you agree? I'm like, you're 11, body rolling in a parking lot? Get the fuck out of here, man. This is Trader Joe's and I have a car. I will kill you. I'm hormonal, I'll get you. I need my trail mix. You know, it's just, because it's so embarrassing because they're everywhere. You could go to the Empire State Building tonight and they're like, it's like, jump off, you know, we don't need you. And they like dance with their dads on TikTok, you know, and the dad will be behind them like, and I just grew up during a time where you only danced for attention if your dad didn't love you. But you know, it is crazy because this is the future. This is the future. We have kids today on TikTok that are, you know, and 10 years from now, they're going to be at job interviews and the bosses are going to be like, what can you bring to the table? And they're like, oh, me? I'm a savage. And you're like, no, come on. No, Declan, you're not. You're not a savage, Declan. That's crazy. Technology's crazy. Alexa's crazy. Does anybody else feel like Alexa is not a girl's girl? This bitch only listens to my husband. Like, I'll be like, Alexa, can you play this song? And she's like, never heard of it. Like, oh, really? Because you're the internet. And my husband will be like, Alexa, play my favorite song. And she's like, do you also want me to wake you up with a weather report? Like, man. I tell you a quick story too, real quick. I'm a bit of an older mom. I don't know if you can tell by the skunkage. I was like, I should dye my hair for this, and I was like, let him know. But I did everything a bit late. I had my baby later in life. I got married later in life. Not always my choice. My husband did wait 7 years to propose. So, yeah, I was pissed. But he did make up for it. He made up for it, because he proposed to me in Paris. Oh, romantic. I mean, I was wearing a fucking beret. Shoot me. I'm like, you couldn't have told me to take up the crooked hat? Like, hey, we're going to take some pictures today, and you look fucking stupid. Like, I might as well have been wearing a striped shirt holding a baguette and been like, moi? Oui! Okay, but then everything that happened around our engagement would have led me to believe that we shouldn't have gotten married. We're still married, we're fine, but there were signs, okay? So first off, he proposes on the side of the Seine River. We pull over, he gets down on one knee, we kiss, we cry, then we look around and we are in a Holocaust memorial garden. Yes, we went back to be like, it's not obvious, it's fucking there's names everywhere. We were like, okay. And then after that, because my husband is a man, he proposed on the last day of a 10-day trip. So it was like, will you marry me? And then we went straight to the airport. And we get to the airport, and when we get there, we realize our airline has gone under. Yeah, not even like, oh, your flight is canceled. France was like, we don't have a fucking plane for you. We were like, okay, cool. So we were trying to do sign language, trying to get back home, right? We're like, we need a plane. Back to America. It's always too soon to tell that joke.